Hey, look who's back. Me and Ashlie, Michael, the man, the mystery man behind the curtain, pulling the strings.
Happy
This is Fox
Saturday.
10 Talks. Happy Saturday. Did you have a good start to the day? Did you do anything fun? Get out and walk the
No,
dogs?
I went to the gym and now I'm
Yeah,
here
dude. Good for
and
you.
I'm kind of just mentally preparing for tomorrow.
Going to be a big day tomorrow. Already, there's going to be a lot of security, of course, a lot of people in general, and maybe up to 100,000, they say. And already some trouble today, not big trouble, but a little trouble out there at State Farm Stadium. What do we know so far? What have you heard? A man pretending to be an officer?
Yeah, let's go to
All
Nicole.
right,
She
let's
has
find
the,
out.
the facts.
She's the reporter on scene. Hey, Nicole.
Hi guys. Yeah, so we're talking about Joshua Runkles. He was here yesterday, midday. Approached a guy who was there with DPS, an officer, and basically was trying to say that he was part of the security detail through Turning Point USA. And the officer, from the documentation that we have, seems to have told him, okay, I'm not really sure, like, you need to talk to Turning Point. Kind of seemed like, okay, there's some steps here that you maybe need to take if you truly are security. Runkles came with a driver's license from North Carolina, a Franklin County, I'm not sure which county or which state, but Franklin County badge, sheriff's office badge, and then also an Idaho like law enforcement card. So a lot of like mismatched credentials if this
Hmm.
guy was indeed supposed to be security. And then a couple hours later, same officer from DPS, Secret Service, has detained this guy. He shows up to see what's going on. It's the same Joshua Runkles, and he has now made it inside. I believe he was like on the club level, near the elevators. He has, I believe it was said by DPS, at least two firearms on him, and he tried to get in again. So, he was kind of told by DPS first, like, I think there's some steps you need to take. And then it seems like he was able to gain access anyways, and then was detained by Secret Service, and then DPS, made that arrest. He appeared today. They're charging him with impersonating a law enforcement officer and bringing a weapon onto a prohibited area. But he was released on bond. So still got to kind of find out what his actual intent was, because again, he was claiming that he was there as part of security, and there doesn't seem to be anybody who's stepping up to say at this point, yep, we know this guy and he was supposed to be here. So just a scary thing. Of course, we don't know what his intent is at this time, but just a kind of a scary thing when you've got the highest level of security going on with the Secret Service and everything here, to have somebody pretending to be law enforcement and they can't confirm that, and to have weapons on him.
Yeah, and there's so security experts, I'm sure, know how to do this, but I'm just thinking
Yeah.
through all the layers of security, like you alluded to. You got the feds, you got state, you got local. You probably
Yeah.
do have Turning Point security out there, which are private.
Yeah.
And how does everybody know who everybody is? I don't know, but it sounds like they did a good job figuring out that this guy at least doesn't appear like he should have been there. Certainly not with the firearm.
And Nicole, let me ask you, is there anyone out there
Yeah.
right now? Is it just
So
you?
there So there are, I don't know how, let me see if I can turn this around for you guys and show. We're kind of far off. We're in the northwest corner of the stadium, and we're actually in a Hilton hotel parking lot where some other media has gathered today. This seems to be the closest we can get. Um, and so you can see there are some just people walking around. It's people that I've seen in Turning Point USA shirts, people I've seen in other clothing that makes me feel like they're everyday people who might be, I don't know exactly who they are, if they're just walking around out here, hanging out at Westgate. But there are definitely like just members of the public who are out here. And then you've got a ton of construction workers and other people who are putting up the barriers. You can see the road closure signs are already in place. And again, as media, this is as close as we're really able to get today. So it's heavy security. I will also tell you though that it seems pretty calm right now, so everything seems to be going well. We haven't seen anything troubling since we've been here. There's been a helicopter flying above. There's been Definitely some vehicles that look like they could be tied to, Secret Service or something. And then, of course, tons of Glendale police that we've seen out here as well. So kind of quiet for the day before, which I mean, that's a good thing, right? We don't want a lot of activity today. We want that tomorrow.
And I want to point out some of our commenters right now, Jay Greer, Brian Cooper, Debbie, they're all saying, wow, he's released already. They released him way too soon. Jay Greer says, I wonder why he wasn't held until after the weekend. That's a good point. I mean, if he had weird intentions, why would they release him?
Yeah, I know that there was in the documents that they had from DPS and from what they had gathered from that officer that spoke with him, they did describe him as cooperative, respectful, compliant. I don't know if that plays any factor into that, if they feel like, okay, he did have a concealed carry weapon permit, a CCW from North Carolina as well. So I don't know if maybe they think they need to connect some more dots before. I believe it was a $500 bond that he was able to cash out on and be released. I know that he is being, he's in a situation now where he's not supposed to come, of course, back to the scene. He's not supposed to talk to any witnesses that he was with. He's not supposed to have any weapons on him. But I did honestly have that same thought myself, that he had been released and tomorrow is the day that the actual event is. But I'm guessing that they're going to be on high alert if they see anyone who matches his description out here. At this point, they have his name and everything.
Well, Nicole, let me add this. I think we have a little bit of an update. I believe this might be hot off the presses. Our EP executive producer, Trenton, just sent us a statement from Turning Point, and they are saying, I'll read this. I want to add a note of clarity here. The individual was doing advanced security for a known guest planning to attend the memorial service tomorrow. We do not believe this person was attempting anything nefarious. However, the advance was not done in proper coordination with and it lets off there. It's sounding like more of a miscommunication thing,
Sure.
like maybe I alluded to earlier.
Yeah, maybe that's why they released him so easily as well. Maybe they were able to get some info that we didn't get in that documentation. Well, that's some good news, at least, so that we can all breathe a, sigh of relief that it seems like this man was genuinely doing that. And it sounded like from what the officer with DPS who encountered him, it sounded like he was pretty respectful. So sounds like he went through the motions this Runkles man did, to say, okay, yep, but then he did try to get in again. So yeah, maybe just some miscommunication of some sort. But good news, at least, that he was not nefarious, they believe.
Right.
All right, well, Nicole, thank you. And
Thanks,
we're going to look
Nicole.
forward to your live report coming up on Fox 10 at 5.
Appreciate it, Nicole.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, so big day tomorrow.
I have a big list of what's happening tomorrow.
Let me have it.
All right, so security-wise, as you know, they have designated this Super Bowl level.
Yeah.
Which I thought was just like a way to describe it, but that actually means that it's the highest national significance when it comes to security levels. So that allows the federal government to do the most.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be coordinating with local. So the federal agencies say they're already tracking several threats of unknown credibility. So that is something to think about. And I was out and about today, and I was actually speaking to someone who said, rumor is just stay home. Like if you're not going, like stay off the road, stay home. There's kind of like a feeling like this is like a prime target for something to go wrong. But they have security in the sky, on the ground. They said they're going to have a lot of plainclothes cops. They have metal detectors. There's a strict no bag policy. They're going to have several hundred officers in and around the stadium. And then they're expecting a handful of protesters to show up. So they do have a designated free speech area for that counter protest. But yeah, we're expecting 100,000 people to descend upon the stadium. The stadium only has 73,000 seats. So then the overflow will go to Desert Diamond Arena, which has 20,000 more seats. And everybody is told to wear their Sunday best, red, white, and blue.
Okay.
And it begins at 11. Now, they said that people cannot camp overnight, but they expect people to start lining up. Can you guess?
Tonight?
2 a.m.
2 a.m., yeah.
2 a.m. to get into the event. That's at 11 a.m.
Well, at least from a safety perspective, like I had said about the actual shooting itself. Things that are outdoors seem like a whole heck of a lot harder to secure than indoors. So hopefully it will be a safer situation. That way people have to go through security guards
It
and
has
checks.
to be a safe situation because if something goes down, we're going to lose the entire administration.
It'd be bad.
2 planes full of Trump administration officials. So we're going to hear from the president and Kirk's widow, Erica. And then you ready for this? Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, U.S. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump Jr., Tucker Carlson, Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, and then Director of White House Personnel Sergio Gore, all speaking. There's also going to be worship services led by some pretty notable Christian singers, Chris Tomlin, Brandon Lake, Phil Wickman, Harry Job Carnes, and Cody Carnes, as well as Lee Greenwood.
Lee Greenwood, yeah.
Yeah, proud to be American, right?
Right.
And Steve Emerson. So
that covers it.
They got to make sure this stays safe because there's a lot of top brass that'll show up tomorrow.
For sure. Okay, lots going on out there tomorrow. I'm glad that we've got some sort of an answer on what happened out there today. And
Tune into Fox 10. We're going to be streaming. Steve Nielsen's going to come in with Celeste and Ron, and they're going to be streaming on Fox 10 Talks all morning long.
And we have a whole team out there too, right?
We have a whole team out there.
Lindsay,
CBS
Kinsey.
and Fox are carrying it live.
Okay.
Quite the event.
Yes, quite the week. Was it been a week and a half now? Quite the week ahead. A lot's happened since then.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just a lot. The country is on edge. I hope the temperature goes down.
Yeah, hopefully this ties the bow and we can
exactly
let him rest in peace.
All right, I think we got a minute till we have to take a break. Coming up, a story I covered yesterday it's an awful story out of Mesa. I mean, most of the stories we do about crime, it seems like the suspect and the victim somehow know each other, are tied. Not in this case, though. This is a dude who broke into an apartment with children and started attacking this family.
Terrifying.
I caught up to the family members yesterday, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And then Emily Kaiser, she posted again for the first time.
She's the TikToker whose baby unfortunately drowned.
Yeah, and she's back on TikTok, which is how she was known prior to. We'll talk about that as well. And then Robbie Baker talking about sports. There's always some Saturday sports to talk about, so he'll have that coming up too.
All right, we'll be right back. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to Fox 10 Talks. I'm Ashlie Rodriguez with my co-anchor Brian Webb, who's looking very dapper today, I do say.
Someone complimented me on my suit today, and she's like, not because I'm so great in a suit, but she's just like, I never see guys in suits anymore. And I'm like, yeah, you don't.
It still
you
exists.
just don't. It's a bygone
especially
time.
in Arizona.
Especially in this cow
Yeah,
time,
at the
right.
tail end of summer.
True.
It's still hot out there.
It is a little toasty, for sure. I was out and about in Mesa yesterday. Horrible, scary story about what appears to be a random attack. Some dude who apparently even admits that he was high on marijuana and PCP and broke into a house and started stabbing the family indiscriminately. Got a 16-year-old daughter. There's a picture of him. He's 22 years old. Got the 16-year-old girl wakes up with him on top of her, attacking her.
Mm.
Then the mom tries to fight him off with a hammer. She gets it. Then another daughter gets it. Thankfully, a 10-year-old boy was not injured. The mom said she had, according to her GoFundMe page, recounting the story. She's still in the hospital, by the way. She finally played dead, and that's what got him to leave, finally. I caught up to her brother, the mother's brother and sister. They're already planning to move them out of there because they no longer feel safe there, clearly. But the good news is the daughters are out of the hospital, which seems amazing to me. Happened, was it Wednesday, I think, at 4:30 in the morning. And, I don't exactly know how he got access to the place, but you could see that, it wouldn't necessarily be hard to access because they're on the kind of the second floor, but it's not like a full story up. It's, kind of something you could, in theory, climb up on the balcony and get in, if that's how he got in, or through the front door. But anyway, the families were like, we're out of here. The GoFundMe, it was nice to see, was, as of yesterday, was up to like 15,000, and it was going up every time we looked at it pretty quickly. So, and the brother and sister couldn't have been nicer. It's always strange, I'm sure, for people when media walks up and says, hey, do you want to do an interview? And they were like thinking about it, and they're like, well, we do want the people to know who have been donating and helping us that where the family's at, and we're doing better.
So what I have heard in the past is that if you don't know where you're getting your weed, like say you go and you buy like a joint from someone, they can spray that with PCP. And that actually sent a girl, I was told the story, into mania, and she has not recovered. Like she lost her mind because she thought she was just trying to get high, but the PCP crept in and she had no idea.
Man.
And she panicked and she was in this crazy world and literally lost her mind.
It's not your granddad's pot anymore, is it?
PCP is crazy.
Well,
and you get supernatural strength on it, like like as human, I guess. And you always hear about these crazy attack stories, and they were on PCP.
Yeah,
it's not just marijuana. No way.
Right.
He lost his mind.
And he also admitted to, on top of all of that, I guess admitted to the court system that he had mental health struggles already and had thoughts of harming people.
Oh, no.
So
I'm glad they survived, but they are definitely traumatized.
Yeah. So he's facing a three counts of attempted second-degree murder. And,
he's done.
Yeah. You got to think. And by the way, another man I was in contact with over the phone has apparently some ring video of the same man trying to break into his house and other homes in the general area. And he contacted police about this guy before.
Lock your doors.
Lock your doors.
And Travis says, can anyone else see through the lady? Like, is she a projection? I just realized.
You are.
I just realized I'm wearing green on a green screen. Yeah.
Rule number 1.
I'm real, guys.
Are you, though? Are you? Okay. That's interesting. Let's see.
It shows up fine there. Oh, there it is.
Whoa,
it's got enough blue in it.
How about that? Should we bring in Robbie?
Sure.
Robbie Baker on deck, batting cleanup for the Fox 10 Talks Weekend Edition.
Thank you to the studio audience for the applause.
What's going on today, dude?
I just feel bad I didn't wear green. I should have wore green too.
I mean, what a rookie move. Huh? I mean, come on.
I don't know. I kind of like it. It has a little pizzazz to it, you know.
Is ASU playing today?
They are. They play in like a half hour from now. A game you can watch on Fox 10.
Oh,
Big
no
12
kidding.
opener against the Baylor Bears. Our Blake Neiman is there in Waco, Texas, the land of Chip and Joanna Gaines. And,
Yeah. They
right?
own the
That's
whole.
where
They
are,
own the
right?
whole town
yeah,
right
Magnolia,
by now.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got some Big 12 football coming up.
Is
in
Baylor
about a
good?
half hour. Yeah, well, both teams are 2-1. Baylor is a team that was picked by some in the preseason process as a team that could win the Big 12 this year. They have a very high-powered offense. Their quarterback is already in some Heisman talks with the numbers he's put up through the first month of the year, Sawyer Robertson. So it's going to be a tough test for ASU's defense. The good thing for ASU is Baylor's defense not very good. They
Really?
rate near the bottom of the Big 12 in basically every category in the first month of the season. So we could be in for a shootout here tonight, which would be fun for those watching on Fox 10 this evening.
And that helped that ASU quarterback. Forgive me, I forgot his
Sam
name.
Levitt. Yeah,
get him going.
Get him going, yeah. And I think it'll be, if ASU wins this game, obviously Sam Levitt's going to have to play well. But I think it's going to be because ASU offensively leans on their running attack a little bit more than the quarterback in this one. Because that's what they did against Mississippi State, the game they lost. They came out, they tried to sling it all over the yard a little bit, couldn't get into a rhythm. In the second half, they went back to their bread and butter, just running the football. And they didn't come out with the win, but they got back into that game by running the football. I would imagine we'll see the ground attack early on to try to at least, take the home crowd for Baylor out of it too, to try to establish the Sun Devils trying to establish themselves on the road.
Ashlie, if you were given free tickets to any sporting event in the Valley, which would you pick?
Ooh, yes, good question.
And free popcorn.
How many are there? There's just
Everything but hockey.
You can go.
Well, we do have college hockey, ASU hockey, but the Coyotes no longer with us.
Yeah, they left us.
I would go to. I would want to be behind home plate.
Oh, that's
the
cool.
Diamondbacks
D-backs?
game.
Yeah, that's
we
good
could
answer.
work that out,
Good
right?
answer.
Yeah, that's a good spot to be.
The players are cute, and then they can see
Here
me.
we go. Here we go.
So
Not if you wear green, though.
Not if I won't wear green, and I'll sit there,
Good
and then
one,
I'll
good
just
one.
wave to each guy, and just hey, and then put out my number. But
That woman is being removed from the field from over flirting with the players.
distracting.
Distraction.
She looks a lot like Ashley from Fox
Yeah,
10.
she looks familiar to me. Okay, well, what's up with speaking of the D-backs? Do they still have a shot at the playoffs?
Still alive. They lost last night, and the Mets won, so that hurt them a little bit. They're now 3 games out of the final playoff spot in the National League, but there's still a whole week left in the season, so there's still a lot that could happen. They're taking on the Phillies tonight again, a second game of that 3-game weekend series. So if the D-backs can just stack some wins here in the last week of the season, they'll still be alive, but it's not up to them anymore. They need help. They need the Mets to lose. The Giants leapfrogged them yesterday, so they need, or they're tied or right with the Giants, but they need some help to get to the finish line here. But the fact that they're here it makes zero sense to me. I mean, they traded away most of their best players at the trade deadline because they assumed that they were going to be rebuilding for next year with all the injuries they sustained this year. And somehow, I think they have the 3rd or 4th best record in all of baseball since the trade deadline. It makes zero sense.
It's like the Major League movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we got the Wild Thing, Charlie Sheen. Short of that, we're there.
They called up a bunch of their young prospects, a bunch of guys who were hungry to make an impact at the Major League level, and some of them their first chance to do so, and they just caught fire here. So it's been incredible to watch. It's none of us predicted this. Once they saw, and it wasn't even like nobody would have predicted this. This was they're selling, they're going to drop out of the standings, higher draft pick for next year, all that type of thing. And instead, they just started winning games. They won more games after the trade deadline in a sustained stretch than they did when they had all of the All-Star players that they traded away. It's crazy.
Is the manager getting all the credit for that, you think?
He should.
Yeah.
I mean, for all as much flack as Torey Lovello gets at times, this to me is proof why he's been here for, I think he's been here almost 10 years now. Because when he has the group of guys that buy into what he's selling, I mean, there's no reason that the D-backs should be in a playoff hunt right now. No offense to the guys on the roster, but with selling at the trade deadline, they should not be in the position they're in. But they're buying into Torey, what he's saying, and they're playing hard, and it's been incredible.
You keep Ashlie away from the stands. She could distract, the whole thing, the whole bet's off.
Yeah, don't go on the last week, Ashley.
Yeah.
Don't
Wait
throw
till
off the
next
mojo
year.
here. Come on. Maybe spring training. Go in the game.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You can get closer anyway, right?
In spring
It's a little
training,
more
the score is
relaxed.
fun to fun. It doesn't matter.
Fun
They're
to
just
fun.
they're just having a good time out there.
Michael, you got a favorite sport?
Not super attracted to baseball players, I gotta say. But, Blaze
just
Alexander
softball.
on the
Do you-
right day.
Do you have a green dress?
Yeah. I do have a green shirt, but
Okay.
no chroma key on my shot, thankfully.
Gotcha.
I'm a Giants fan, full stop. So I'm rooting
Okay.
for them to make the playoffs still.
Still alive. Still alive.
Yes, still alive, but Robbie's right. I mean, let's be real. They're not. Neither one of these teams are really going to do anything in the playoffs. I don't think. If
Just-
they make the playoffs,
If they make it, whoever earns that last spot's going to end up playing probably. Is it Milwaukee, right? Mike?
Yeah, I
Obi?
think so.
And Milwaukee's been the best team arguably in baseball all year. So obviously, if you make the postseason, the D-backs showed a few years ago. It doesn't matter how you get there. If you get there, you have a chance
Right.
to go to the World Series as they did 2 years ago. But whoever is the last team to make the playoffs in the National League is going to face an uphill battle to make some noise.
because you have to do the play-ins, right? So you got to win 2 sudden death games.
They changed it to one best of 3
Okay.
series now.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So the wild card playing, yeah. So
Well, something fun to talk about. Feather in the
it's fun
cap
to- yeah.
for the
and
Tory.
the Mercury. Got to mention the Mercury quick, beating
Heck yeah.
the Liberty last night, knocking out the reigning defending champs, and now the Mercury are in the semifinals of the WNBA playoffs.
They're pretty much our best shot at a title of some sort, right? At this point.
I mean, if you talk like proximity to it, I guess
Yeah.
yes, because they are 3 wins away from going to the WNBA finals. So
Wow.
they're right in the mix.
That's
yeah, the
awesome.
game 1 of the semifinals tomorrow in Minnesota
And
against
after Taurasi left, after Griner left,
Yeah, Taurasi retired. Griner moved on to Atlanta, and they rebuilt this roster in the offseason, kind of a new big 3 with Alyssa Thomas, Clea Copper, and Satu Sabali. And it was, I mean, last night that game was really there was times where the Liberty got close, and it was a close game, down the stretch. But the Mercury, to me, watching it never felt like the Mercury were in doubt. There was times when the Liberty went on runs and took the lead, but with that home crowd at PHX Arena and the X Factor, it seemed like the Mercury were in control throughout. They move on, and now they go to face the Lynx. And this is a Minnesota team that's very good, but the Mercury have had their number this year. So if they...
You know what the big difference is between sports and news is we need a break from our topic. Like we need vacation. Like if we
yes.
cover heavy things, we just need to
Yeah.
not watch the news. You never
Maybe just has
burn
fun
out.
every day.
No,
Comes
this is
over.
why I do
You
sports. It's
never
fun.
need a break, huh?
No, I wake up this morning at 7 a.m., started watching Premier League soccer with my little guy at home. He loves soccer.
That's a
and
big
then we roll
difference.
into watching football, and then he takes a nap. I come to work, and I watch more sports.
Like
What's
and
better
like
than that?
Richard tells that story about the intern who says, "You get to go to these games for free," and he goes, "No, they pay
They
me."
pay us, yeah. And they give us food sometimes. I mean, you
That's
kidding me?
that's just crazy. The dream come true.
Well, our Super Bowl and news tomorrow
Yeah, that's for sure.
with this